There's a saying, whose bread I eat, his song I sing. It's called loyalty. And in the blood-soaked circus of MotoGP, there's one man who defines that word, Fabio Quartararo. While others chase power, contracts, and a few milliseconds of glory on a Ducati, this man, this gladiator, stood in the middle of Yamaha's ruins and said, I am not leaving. He didn't leave when the podiums dried up. He didn't leave when the top speed vanished. He didn't leave when his own potential screamed at him to go find a faster bike. He stayed, because loyalty isn't just a word, it's a war. Let's rewind the clock. Since 2015, Yamaha, once the pride of MotoGP, collapsed like a sandcastle in the tide. The bike? A joke. The updates? Cosmetic. One year it was a black livery, another year, a new sticker set. But under the paint, the same sluggish, desperate machine. While Ducati and KTM re-engineered the future, Yamaha got left behind. And yet, when everyone left, Fabio stayed. He didn't just stay, he fought. He bled for that team. He begged Yamaha to bring back a satellite team so he could have more data, more development, more chances. Not for himself, for the bike. He took on the insults, the doubt, the pressure. They called him finished. They said 2021 was a fluke. They said he was wasting his career. And he said, give me the bike, I'll give you the result. Let me remind you who Fabio is. In 2019, a kid from Moto2 with a smile too innocent for this paddock jumped onto a Petronas Yamaha and matched Marc Marquez, punch for punch. Who forgets Thailand 2019? A last-lap dogfight against the greatest of this era. Fabio didn't win, but he announced himself to the world, I'm here. And in 2021, when Marquez was gone and the Ducati swarm filled the grid, Fabio took that inferior M1 and became world champion. Not with horsepower, not with top speed, but with courage, finesse, and pure raw talent. But success in MotoGP is temporary. The moment you stop winning, they stop believing. And so the vultures came for him. They asked, why are you still with Yamaha? They whispered, you could have been Marc's teammate. You could have had a Desmos Adichie. They shouted, he's wasting his prime. But Fabio, he didn't blink. He went into the fire instead. 2025, after years of pain, something began to shift. The Yamaha started breathing again, and so did Fabio. Jerez, he took pole, he crashed in the sprint. But Sunday, he battled like a warrior and secured P2, holding off Pecco Bagnaia. That podium, it wasn't a result. It was a signal. France, his home race. Again, he was fast. He fought the Ducati brigade. It didn't end well. A crash in the main race, no points. But every lap, every sector, we saw a Yamaha that could fight again. Then came Silverstone, the track where legends find rebirth, the temple of high-speed agony and glory. And Fabio Quartararo? He was flying. Pole position. Third in a row. Jerez, Le Mans, now Silverstone. In a grid ruled by Marc Marquez on a factory Ducati, in a world where red bikes eat the straights alive, it was Fabio Quartararo on that blue Yamaha on top. Let that sink in. He was beating the Ducati army on one-lap pace, on consistency, on heart. Race day. The lights went out. Fabio launched like a missile. Turn after turn, lap after lap, he opened a gap. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Then 4.5 seconds. The soft front tire, everyone thought it wouldn't last, but it was working. The ride was smooth, the rhythm was perfect. Fabio was flowing with the bike like it was 2021 all over again. The Yamaha was dancing. The commentators couldn't believe it. The Ducati pit wall? Silent. Fabio Quartararo was leading the British Grand Prix. And then, lap 12, turn 6, something snapped. He felt the bike drop unnaturally low. The rear wasn't coming back up. The ride height device stuck. His worst nightmare in his best race. The bike refused to rise. He couldn't brake. He couldn't lean. He knew, it's over. Fabio pulled over, climbed off the bike, and collapsed. Tears. Not dramatic ones, real ones. This wasn't just a mechanical failure. This was 3 years of pain ripping open on international television. Since 2022, he hadn't seen the top step. And today, he was 5 seconds clear. Victory wasn't a dream. It was a guarantee. And the bike failed, not the rider. After the race, he tried to speak. I braked like hell from lap 1, he said, holding back tears. I managed everything. Bezecchi took 3/10, I responded. I had it under control. But the device failed, and it's just, he paused, heartbreaking. In the media debrief, they asked him if this gave him hope. He tried to answer. He broke down again. Then he whispered, of course it gives me hope, but fuck, it's so what happened today. His friend, Thomas Mabant, more than a friend, his soul brother, held him. Today, Thomas said, you were the fastest. No one could touch you. And that made it worse, because it was true. Fabio said, it feels like our life in reverse. In Jerez, I made pole and the gear shifter broke. Now this, but we're coming back. We are on a good way. And the paddock stood still. Everyone knew what they saw. Fabio Quartararo is back. Not on the standings, not on the stat sheets, but in spirit, in speed, in purpose. He didn't need the win. He needed to prove that belief was still worth something in MotoGP. And he did. While other riders are sitting at home, reading through contracts, looking for loopholes, Fabio is out there putting his blood into the track. Jorge Martin may be the reigning world champion, but right now, he's not leading Yamaha. He's not building anything. He's waiting. Fabio, he's creating. You see, it's easy to ride a perfect bike and win. It's easy to smile in Parc Fermé when everything goes right, but to ride when the bike is broken, to lead a race when the sport left you behind, to cry in front of the world and still say, we're coming back. That takes guts. That takes loyalty. That takes Fabio Quartararo. So let the record show, Silverstone 2025 wasn't a defeat. It was a revolution. A Yamaha on pole, leading, dominating, a rider undefeated in spirit. And though the final lap never came, the message echoed louder than any checkered flag. He is still here. He never left. He believes. And after watching that, so should we.